Hey everybody, it's Rhonda here in CTAT with a short cameo by Darren before he has to go to do the basketball books. And today we're going to look at some of the kind of neat little tricks we can do in D2L, some of the weird stuff that goes on in D2L. Um, so on your screen you should see, and I've already logged myself in, but you should see my D2L main page, and you'll see we're going to go down here to this fake for training. Hopefully you all will get a kick out of the fake for training class, but that's what we're going to use today. So we're going to click that, and it's just bringing me up just the very beginning page. So the first thing that really important in this version of D2L is workshops or adjunct faculty workshops. You heard Darren say it lots. Do not fear the triangle. These little triangles right here, you can do all sorts of things. If you're looking for something that you knew where it was in the last version of D2L and you're just having a hard time finding it, check a triangle, because odds are that's where it's going to be. So that's the first little quirk, idiosyncrasy, weird thing that we're doing, is these lovely little triangles. So what I want to do first is we are going to look at our class list. So class list for this purpose, and you can change some of these bars and where things are, but I left it strictly the way it comes. Class list right now is under communication. So you can see, here's our class list. If you watch Disney movies growing up, then you know who all these people are. But one of the first things I want you to look at is anytime that you're looking at a list of students, you can change how you look at it. Some of us like them to be alphabetized by their last name. That's great. Some people like for them to be alphabetized by their first name. Now, if you notice, that went on and changed. The only thing I had to do was click right there on first name, and it alphabetized them. So if you like for your grade book to be done by first name, if you like for your attendance roster to be done by first name, that's all you got to do to change that. Again, we've got the little triangles. So Anna Arundel, she's one of our new princesses. She's from Frozen. What can we do with Anna here? We can send Anna an email. We can view Anna's progress and view group enrollments if you have specific groups within your class. So let's look real quick and view Anna's progress. Anna is not a good student. She has not signed in. Not been in at all. She has received a grade only because I went in and put a bunch of grades in. And we'll get to that here in a second. So there's our user progress. We can look at grades. You can look at how many discussions she's read, how many threads she's created, and how many replies she's posted. Dropbox, what all's in there, how many things are awaiting a grade, things like that. So that's all under that little triangle, and we just clicked on view progress. Let's see if we find, I think Aurora has been in class, so we can look at hers and you can actually see some of the things that will show up when they have done something in class. Aurora has responded here to 2 discussions, or created 2 threads in a discussion. And right now that's the only thing I've got in there for them is discussions. The princesses don't have to take any tests yet. Another neat thing in user progress is login history. I don't know about you, but a lot of times I like to see how much my students are logging into their classes and see, are they spending a lot of time in there or are they not spending any? So this is the way that you can do that. You go to that user progress and then simply click down here on login history. All right, so there's our class list. We see all of our princesses, many of which are not very good students, right? That's a big surprise? No, don't think so. Okay, so let's go on to our next. Let's look at some discussion boards. So I'm going to go up here to communication and click on discussions. And you can see we have several discussions here that would be pertinent to princess class. Things like hair, ball gown, and shoes. So a couple things we're going to do while we're in discussions, because I know lots of us really like to use this tool with our students, whether we're teaching a face-to-face, hybrid, or online course, to try and get them to interact more with each other and the material. I have created 3 discussion boards and topics, but I'm going to walk you through the creation of that and then show you how to link them to grades and how to actually get in and grade those discussion topics. So we're going to go up here in discussions to new, and the first thing you need is a forum. The forum is going to be like your bigger category. For instance, hair was our bigger category, and then we've got a hair thread in there. If we wanted to do hair up, hair down, blonde hair, black hair as 4 different boards, hair is going to be our forum. So here is our new forum, and let's see, what else would princesses talk about but their princes? So we're going to use prince. Now at this point you have an option. If you know that you want the topic for them to discuss to be titled prince as well, all you got to do is click that little box right there, put your little check mark in, and it's going to automatically create it. Not hard to do at all. So for this one, we're going to have prince. I'm not going to make one right here. I'm going to show you how to make it in another place. There's a couple of things that you can double check here. Whether or not you want to allow anonymous posts. If you want your students to be able to post and not to show their name. I don't like to do that, but I teach a class that can be controversial in juvenile delinquency, so I try real hard not to do anything anonymously. You can do it to where a moderator has to approve individual posts. Sometimes this can work really well if you have a student that you're really having a hard time engaging. You can bring them in and let them be a moderator. Gives them a little bit of ownership. And then users must start a thread before they can read and reply to other threads in each topic. This is a great little toolbox. That toolbox is checked in all of my discussions. And what that does is that keeps the students from looking at somebody else's and basically rephrasing what somebody else has written. But it also, in my class, they're required to write a discussion board post and respond to 2. So by making them start their thread first, that also assures that they can't just do their 2 replies and forget about their own discussion board posts. So we've got that kind of like I want it. Restrictions, you could go in here and attach restrictions, restrict it to a group, things like that, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to save and add topic, because the forum is the great big overarching category, but the topic is the actual board. So let's go on and add a topic here. New topic details, the forum, and you can see these are the 4 forums that we've got created. It is going to be prince. So we're going to title this particular board Handsome Prince. We'll even title it Most Handsome Prince. Again, you have the same options of allow anonymous posts. Moderator must approve individual posts, that they have to start a thread. Like I said, I keep that one on mine. You can have it where your students can rate each other's posts. Totally up to you. I don't do that. So how are we going to, you can go down here and lock your topic, unlock it, set a specific date range if you want to display it in the calendar. All that's done there. Now, this is what I want them to answer. So I'm going to type it here in the description. And what I want them to answer is, who snagged the most handsome prince? Okay, because that's what I want our princesses to discuss. So let's go up here. Now I want to link this to my grades so that I can just grade it straight from here. It's going to make my life easier. Here's restrictions. Not putting any restrictions on this particular one. So let's go to assessment. And on this assessment tab is where you're going to go in and allow it to be gradable straight out of the discussion board. And I'm going to show you in a minute why this makes a difference. But we're going to go on and do this one. So we go to assessment, choose a grade item, and I've already entered my grades. And if you missed Darren's talk last week about grades and how to set up your grade book, you can access that from the CTAT webpage under Teacher Tip Thursday, and he can show you exactly how to get that grade book set up. But we're going to do this grade item as princes. It's a score out of 5. and I'm going to allow assessment of individual posts, and I can calculate it. Do I want it to be an average post score, a maximum post score, a minimum, a mode? I'm going to do an average post score. And then I'm going to save and close. So if we look, now here's our Prince forum. Here's the most handsome Prince topic. And you can see I kind of went through these and made them real quick earlier. But one thing, if you look, this little ruler with the check mark down here, that's what tells us that it's linked to an assessment. It's linked into a grade. So I've got that on Prince, I've got it on shoes, I've got it on ball gown. I forgot to do it on hair. Can we fix it? Sure. In the words of Bob the Builder, yes we can. We are certainly going to be able to fix it. We're going to click, there's that little drop down menu, the upside down triangle again. That upside down triangle is your friend. So we're going to click that upside down triangle, go down here, we're going to edit topic. You can see here's just like when we created the topic earlier, we're going to go over to assessment. We're going to choose our grade item and put the top score, our score out of 5. And then we're going to save and close. So now all of those will go directly into grades. I can grade them straight from here. So how do we do that? And I've put a couple of posts in just so that we can talk a little bit about the best way to grade discussion boards, or the easiest way, or whichever terminology you prefer, but we're going to look at it twice. So we're going to click on ball gowns, and the question is, who's got the best ball gown? So we can see, let me go back here to view topic, we can see Aurora Beauty, otherwise known as Sleeping Beauty for those of you that are not Disney movie buffs, has responded. So I can go from here, I can edit her thread, I can mark it as read, copy it, print it, delete it, flag it, all sorts of things. I just want to go in and read it. So I'm going to click right here on the title where it says mine, of course. And I can see Aurora has posted right here her answer to the question, who has the best and worst ball gowns? And that is her response, I don't know how anyone's ball gown could top mine. It changed colors. Best ball gown, me. Worst ball gown, Pocahontas. It doesn't even sweep the floor. So we can see that. We can see what she said. We can also see that Pocahontas has written back. She has replied to that thread. Something to remember when you're looking at discussion boards, when your students go in and they view the topic for the first time, start a new thread is how they write to you. That's how they make their thread to answer the question. That's how they make their post. When they want to reply to someone else, they click here on reply to thread. Just something for you to keep in mind. So we can read it, but really, do we see any way to grade it? Not really. So let's go up here to assessments and go to grades. And you can see here we've got our princesses, we've got their final calculated grade, and I've got their 4 discussion boards, each worth 5 points. You can tell right here that Aurora and Pocahontas have both made a submission in the discussion boards for ball gown. So what can we do? How could we grade this? Well, the first thing we could do is we could click right here to view Aurora's submission. And it shows me, if you look down here, it shows her submission. It doesn't show us what Pocahontas said back, but it does show us hers. I can go right here, and I'm going to give that, let's say, a 4 out of 5. It's an okay response, right? Now, the next thing that you see here is published. And published is a real neat little thing. If you are one of those instructors that you don't want anybody to see their grades for what you're doing, for what you are grading until everything is graded, then you do not want to click published. Okay? When you click published and hit save, that means your students can see that grade. That student. So if I'm going to click published and hit save, because that doesn't bother me. They can all see it. It tells you can enter your feedback here. Guess we could have entered some feedback. Let's see, what can we enter feedback for Aurora? We'll just put egotistical, right? Because that was a little ugly towards Pocahontas. We're going to save. We're going to overwrite. And that has now left that feedback, and you see that grade right here. She got 4 out of 5, which is 80%. That's having it publish them right away. We'll do the same thing here with Pocahontas. We'll give Pocahontas a 3 and put you replied but didn't start your own thread. Now, you may want them all to just do it in one big thread. I like for them to reply separately. So that's what I'm going to put there. I'm going to publish it and click Save. Now, that's all fine and good. It's a little clicky, though. So what can we do to make it not as clicky? Well, let's go over here and look at shoes. And if we click right here, you can see this grade all. Okay, grade all is going to bring them all up. It's going to bring them up in a spreadsheet view. So let's go here for shoes. What did Aurora have to say about shoes? She says, Cindy has to win for best shoes. They did bring her a prince. Pocahontas doesn't even wear shoes, so she loses on this one too. So we'll go up here. We'll give her a 5 out of 5, sure. Whatever grade you want to assign, whatever is in your syllabus. I'm not going to publish it this time because I'm going to show you how to publish them all in one fell swoop. And then I'm just simply going to click Save. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing here. Pocahontas, who needs shoes? Barefoot is the way to be. Totally agree with her, so let's give her a 5. Again, I'm not clicking Publish, and I'm just clicking Save. Now, if you notice, those are not showing up right here in grades. That's because I haven't published them yet. So I'm going to go on and click Save because I want it to save what I've done. And then I'm going to go right up here next to shoes. Oops. Oh, I said I was going to go up right up there next to shoes. Here we go. Grade all. There's a publish all somewhere. See, even those of us in CTAT every once in a while forget what we're looking at. Look what we're looking for. I'll go back here to grades. Grade all. Grade all. Publish that one. Now we've got them all published and we're ready to go. So both Pocahontas and Aurora can now see their grades. I told you earlier that we could also change, we can change by first and last name. And if you'll recall, I mentioned something about the fact that we could sort in our grade book based on who, you can sort it from lowest score to highest or highest to lowest. So we're going to click right here on hair because I went on and entered all their grades for hair. And I want to see lowest to highest. Well, we can see Mulan did not score great on hair. Whereas Rapunzel did. I mean, Rapunzel did have all that hair, so surely she deserves that one. We can do it ascending or descending to sort it by that. We can also do that to final calculated grade if you want to look and see kind of how the grades ended up. And then we can always go back here and go to last name and first name, depending on how you want to set those up. All right, that's kind of some of the tips and tricks to D2L version 10. I hope you've enjoyed it. As always, if you have any trouble at all, just give us a call here in CTAT or send us an email to ctatmailbox@roanstate.edu. And we will do our very, very best to help you. Thanks, and I hope you have a great day.